When you speak to somebody who's had their mobile phone stolen, it's so distressing. All your personal details are there, your photographs, your contacts, your messages. It's really distressing. In the major cities across the globe, we've seen a big increase over the last few years in mobile phone thefts and robberies. We've made great progress in London, particularly over the course of the last year. 10,000 fewer victims of mobile phone thefts, which means 10,000 fewer victims of crime. We're investing more money from City Hall, these fantastic new e-bikes, drones, targeted teams in those parts of London where we know this is an issue. So we're doing all we can in terms of enforcement. We need to do more around prevention. And so we need the support of mobile phone operators, manufacturers, tech industry to help us make the value of a second-hand stolen phone zero. And it's very easy to do so. Having a kill switch would mean a second-hand stolen phone can't be used. Denying access to the cloud would make a mobile phone that's been stolen redundant. Having obviously visible unique serial numbers would make it far easier to detect a phone that's been stolen. So look, we've been working closely with the sector for the last 2.5 years, lots of warm words. We've not had the progress that we'd like to see, and so we're saying to them, we're imploring them, listen, work with us to design out this crime as well, like we've had car stereos designed out, like we have, cash going to and from building sites almost designed out, to design this out as well. If it is the case that the mobile phone operators, manufacturers and tech sector don't want to take action, Sadiq is setting out, we'll have no choice but to lobby the government for changing legislation.
What would you like to see in that legislation?
Well, listen, let's wait and see how conversations go, but the sort of stuff we've talked about to the phone operators and manufacturers is simple things. One, have a kill switch. So when a phone is stolen, you can press a button and you're required to make that phone useless, basically. Why not have in a visible place the unique serial number so we can take action there? Why not deny access to the cloud? Why not make it easier in terms of a phone not being able to be used? At the same time, we are doing everything we can in terms of enforcement. We're also targeting those shops that may be selling second-hand stolen phones as well. So I don't want to give the impression we want to do everything we can. We're just saying this bet with the companies will take it even further. But I'm really focused on the impact on victims of crime. It's really distressing when you've had your phone stolen, or your data's there, or your information's there, but also sometimes criminals use violence against somebody because they want your phone. So that's my main priority. But also I recognise there are people across the globe who don't like London. They don't like our success, they don't like our diversity, they don't like our liberal values, they don't like our progressives, and they find any excuse to spread misinformation and disinformation. Objective evidence shows last year was the year with the fewest amount of homicides on a per capita basis in London, the fewest amount of teenage homicides in more than 3 decades. We're far safer than all the major cities in Europe and every city in the United States of America. Burglary is down, gun crime is down, knife crime is down, 10,000 fewer victims of mobile phone thefts as well. And so it's really important we tell the good story about London rather than people believing the rubbish. Well, thank you, Commissioner Sadiq, and good morning. To those who are non-Londoners, welcome to London. Sadiq's just spoken about how here in the capital we're leading the fight against phone theft. But I actually want to begin my words by thinking about the lessons that our city's history might have to offer. 100 years ago, London was gripped by fears of a crime wave. The cause was a new kind of criminal, the motor bandit. The motor bandit would rob homes, shops and banks before jumping in a car to speed away from the scene. Stuck on foot or on horseback, Met Police officers couldn't catch them, and they got away scot-free. The consequences of this new crime was profound. Victims suffered without ever seeing justice, and the public started to lose confidence in policing, worried that the authorities couldn't keep up with those who sought to do them harm. If that story sounds familiar, it is. In the century since, we've seen this pattern repeat itself again and again. Technological progress provides criminals with new opportunities to get ahead, and the rest of the world rushes to catch up. Phone theft, then, is a new crime with a very long history. Like the motor bandits before them, thieves are exploiting new technologies to break the law, using illegal e-bikes to snatch phones from unsuspecting victims and escape down London's busy streets. Stuck on foot, on push bikes, or in cars, officers haven't been able to catch them, and they've been getting away. Compared to, though, the car-driving criminals of old, though, their impact may be even bigger. Because in today's world, phones aren't a possession like any other. They are everything. Our bank cards, our cameras, calendars, our music and memories, and our means of connecting with colleagues, friends, and family. They're how we call a cab when we don't want to walk home alone in the dark, or tell our loved ones that we've got home safe. The loss that victims of phone theft experience is intense, it is emotional, and it's profoundly personal. If we want people to feel safe in our city, we simply can't allow the perpetrators to get away with it. Here, the story of the motor bandits offer us one final lesson. Back in the 1920s, the Met decided that to keep up with these criminals, they'd need the same technology as them. So they abandoned their horse-drawn carriages and started using cars and wireless technology to catch offenders in the act. Today, as you've heard from Sir Mark, we're doing the same thing. To stop the phone snatchers, we're working to beat them at their own game. And that's why, as Mayor, I've provided record funding for the Commissioner to invest in cutting-edge kit that will leave these criminals with nowhere to hide. And I've seen it in action for myself. Using drones, CCTV, and e-bikes, officers were pursuing phone thieves relentlessly with real results. The Commissioner said in his speech that there were 10,000 fewer phones stolen in London last year compared to the year before. That's 10,000 fewer Londoners and visitors mourning lost photos of loved ones or spending sleepless nights worrying about their data being stolen. It's fewer children being drawn into ever darker circles of coercion and crime, and it's millions more people with the confidence to walk our city's streets without fear. But we know that one victim is one too many. And until London is a no-go zone for phone thieves, there's much more to do. Last month, I announced almost £5 million in funding to target every link in the criminal chain, from going after known offenders and dodgy middlemen to creating, as Sir Marcus said, a new command cell to coordinate intelligence and respond rapidly to crime in the West End. But we can't do this by ourselves. The motor bandits were fast, but they couldn't get very far. We're talking Kent or Essex at a push. Today, though, the organised criminal gangs we're dealing with operate as far away as China and Algeria. This is a global crime, and no city can police it alone. Instead, we need a global solution with cities and tech companies working together to destroy the business models thieves rely on. You know, as a teenager in the 80s, I was used to seeing car stereos getting stolen. It was about 60 years after the motor bandits and 20 years before Bluetooth. All the thieves had to do was smash a window, rip out the kit and sell it straight onto the black market. In a few years, though, as Sir Mark said, this crime almost completely disappeared. Now, as has been said, by redesigning stereos, car manufacturers made them almost impossible to resell. Suddenly, a once profitable crime was completely pointless. So let me end by saying this. If, like the motor bandit and the car stereo thief, we want to consign phone snatchers to the past. We must follow this example, because making stolen phones harder to reset, to reuse and resell is the only way to eliminate the economic incentive for this crime. And we've already come a long way together. But with the safety and prosperity of our cities at stake, now is the time for us to raise our ambitions. When I say us, I mean all of us. The police and City Hall, manufacturers and operating system providers, social media platforms and mobile networks, marketplaces and resellers, and of course, our international partners. In London, we've already shown we've got what it takes to win this fight. Today, our homicide rate is the lowest in recorded history on a per capita basis. Teenage homicides, the lowest in more than 3 decades. You're less likely to be the victim of violent crime here than anywhere else in the UK. Now, I want to take that same determination to drive phone theft out of our city, and I want to do it together. Thank you very much.